Shalom, family. Glory be to God, and blessed be the Lamb. It's late, at least by my standard. So I'm going to try to keep this short, very short. It's shorter than usual. No one should be willing to test our resolve or to challenge our determination at this point. Our enemies should move with both resolve and caution from here on out. One's determination has been made. We must realize the gravity of what we have done and how business as usual is not an option. It's not an option, and that this is not a drill. This is not a drill. These are the times where choices are kept, decisions are rendered. In other words, it's time to be adults. For a long time now, we have been making decisions with our responsibility. By we, I mean you. There is no repercussions for anything that you do, absolving you of all responsibility. Of all responsibility. So where are we now? You still think that this is a game? This is patty cake? This is something that you can wait out, outlast maybe, outdance, out argue, out orate, out debate? The debate is over. The way we look at it, you've had a few thousand years now, and more specifically 400 years, depending on what you want to start at. And it's the same thing. You've shown your intentions, and we have shown ours. We have said that it will not be. It won't be at all. Now that you see how serious we are, and I'm sure you do, we ain't just whistling Dixie. We are playing for keeps. By this time, you have chosen your sides. I'm going to take one from, who was it? George Bush and his crew. Ashcroft them and that group. You either stand with God or you stand against God. You either are with God's plan or you stand firmly against God's plan. There ain't no halfway point. Have you been listening? At this point between the CIA and the FBI, they have to have a combined total of 5,000 to 6,000 hours of recorded audio going back to 2012. Yet we arrive here. Is it? You know what? You stand still. That's your problem. You stay in place. That's the thing. Excuse me. That's the thing about any structure. It stays in place. I mean, you can watch the water rise around its ankle, and then its shins, then its knees, and then its thighs. It stays there. It can't move. It can't run. It's just kind of there, making it vulnerable to all kinds of attack. And that's what you're under now, attack. I speak to my enemies, or those who will stand against God, my enemies, those who would have things stuck in some kind of worthless secular humanism where they decide what's right and what's wrong. Do not they understand that we don't give one rat's ass about what they think? Do they have rank? Because if we don't give a damn what the devil think, then most certainly we won't give a damn what you think. So what will it be? What will it be? What will you do? What will you do? Remember, any decision that you make must be one made in earnest for yourself and what's best for you, not only for you, but for the masses. You have no choice here. For you, this is what it is. Do it look like we are playing games? I told you, you're not important to God's plan. You are in the way of God's plan, and you seem to believe that it's going to be business as usual. No, it's not. No, it's not. What did I tell you? What did I say at the onset? Well, that would be unfair because the starting point is unclear. But what did I say starting last year? The leadership is not leadership, and that community has now new leadership, and not only do they have new leadership, they're also under the personal ownership of God himself. God got the papers, and he gave you the papers. Everybody got the papers. So we're at odds, and we're very serious about what we said. It seems to me that decisions are in order. Decisions are in order. Rule number one, you're going to talk to me sooner or later. Take your time. I don't look forward to it either. And remember, you need to start grooming someone and what's the word I'm looking for? Don't do anything that's going to corrupt them and make them susceptible. You know what I'm saying? How would you feel sitting across the table from me? Exactly. That's exactly what we want. We don't want them to feel. And the only way that they cannot feel that is that they are clean. So be careful now. Be careful. But until we get to that point, you have a decision to make, don't you? Remember, our determination is clear, and your resolve should be exercised with a large amount of caution. Of caution. See, every action causes a reaction, cause and effect. And at this point, it can be deadly. It can be deadly. But away from you now. To the rest of you who will consider themselves powers here on earth. I'm not talking about the governmental powers, no. The social order and those who exist in the marginalized fringes of the order. They go by many names. Many names. So many names, they may as well have government officials themselves. They have so much money and so much power that they can threaten and buy entire governments, threaten politicians with real bullets, don't you know? They can do what they want to do on the world stage whenever they want to do it because they have the power, i.e. bullets and money to do it. That is the source of man's power all over the world. Bullets and money. Bullets and money. If anyone thought it was anything else, then you'd be crazy. You haven't been watching very long, have you? What did you miss? You must have went to the bathroom and gathered hot dogs during the good parts of the movie. You need to sit your ass down and watch the movie. Sir, you still act like you're lost in this. We're not lost. Get a Bible, and you will know what's going on. See? You don't have to get the Bible from a religious or faith standpoint. Get the Bible from an intellectual standpoint and make an intellectual decision. You look at what advantages you and what does not, and then you choose. I guess that would be the normal thought process of the human being, I think, but not so for us. We think differently, but 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 I digress. I digress. But I guess the point that I'm making, both locally, internationally, and planetary, we're not here to play patty cakes with you. Get a Bible, know what's going on, pick your sides, choose your weapons, because the battle is nigh. It is nigh. It is nigh. So be careful out there. Be careful. This is an admonishment I would have made to what to my ever decreasing number of enemies. You should be careful too. The hunters are out. The hunters are out for you now. All it takes is your name whispered in the wind. I want you to understand this. We're at war. We are at war, and there is nothing you can do about it. And when I say we, I mean me and the angels and and God against you and what's left of man. See, here's where you screwed up. You have to leave man. Man was built with free will. Without free will, he doesn't function at his full capacity. He becomes lackluster and inefficient, sluggish in his thoughts. His inability to to create art diminishes. Like here in America. That's why here's an example, and I promise I'm gonna wrap it up right here. Here's an example of what I'm saying. Everything that you see on TV is a repeat of what has already been done. Where are your philosophers? Where are your Picassos? Okay? Currently, they are making movies off of comic books. It's because their artistic capability have been taken from them. It's the first sign of a dying empire, by the way. It's repetition. It's repetitive motion over and over and over and over until they kill themselves or some outside force does it for them. Either way, it always ends badly. It always ends badly. And once again, those of you who still don't believe in God, then you're an idiot. A total idiot. That's okay. I'll work with you. Pay attention. They say that whatever I say comes true. By their standard, they're only half right. It's far worse than that. It's far worse than that. But you should know that we're not here to play with our enemies. We are here to do what we said we would do. Rip the population apart with the good people on the one side and the bad people on the other. We should think of them as wheat and tare. And the tare will be bundled up, gathered up, and bundled and destroyed. That's what it's written, and that's what will be done. And there's absolutely, positively out of it. I know this because I already looked for you. If there was a way, trust me, I would tell you, even though the one who sits upon the throne would hear me tell you, and it would still fail. He would only be slightly upset with me because he would see the obvious joke. He would be like, he just crazy, ain't he? Yeah, yeah. He just do that kind of stuff from time to time. He thinks of it as misdirection and then laughs at it, whether it goes as planned or wrong. He really didn't have any real motive behind him doing it or saying it in the first place. He's crazy that way, Lord. You guys enjoy the rest of your night. And remember, enemy, wherever you are, wherever you hide, you shall harm man, we shall be hunting you from here on out. It doesn't matter what you call yourself. It doesn't matter where you are, even in the mountains, even in the mountains. And there's really, when you think about it, you don't know much about the mountains, but that's a whole nother audio. Even the mountains aren't what you really think. Anyway, you guys enjoy the rest of your night, your evening, and your sleep. I'm going to do the same. The source, I have 7. 1.